Hey, it's Dr. Karen Can. Welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. This week's topic is on a phenomenon that I'm calling multiproxying. But before we dive into that, if you're new to my YouTube channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and also the little notification bell so you know next time I do a new video and you'll be notified. And if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and feel free to share it. So multiproxying, what is that? So over the last 17 days or so prior to this recording, we've been going through a pretty incredible ascension process. And as humans and as sensitive souls, who are most of the people that I connect with, we are basically given permission, if you will, to heal a lot more outside of ourselves and really connect in to that oneness place where it's like the other person is just another part of ourselves or another aspect of ourselves. So practically speaking, this has meant a couple of interesting phenomena that has been occurring. Now, one of the phenomena we've had in the past, and that is called autoproxying. So autoproxying means that suddenly you are proxying for something, someplace, or someone else, and your energy body, if you will, is being used to heal the other. Now, for a lot of sensitive souls, that could be a very safe and kind of like a little mini mission that you're supposed to do. For other people, it might be a boundary issue. So they may have low boundaries and therefore they start auto-proxying for someone else. It could be their son, it could be their daughter, it could be the drunk guy that you pass by in the grocery store. So there is safe auto-proxying when it's supposed to happen, and it seems to be a lot more lately. And then the maybe not so great auto-proxying where you're just randomly feeling other people's stuff and then processing their stuff for them when it's inappropriate. That's usually a boundary issue or weak boundary issue. But let's talk about the first case or scenario where it is for your highest and greatest good to auto-proxy for someone. Now, even if it's for your highest and greatest good to run their energy through your body so that they can heal, sometimes it can get a little long and sometimes it can cause you to feel a little wonky, like not yourself. Obviously, you're proxying for someone else, so you don't feel like yourself. You might feel a little uncoordinated. You might have an old symptom return. You might feel overwhelmed. There's different symptoms that could happen if you were auto-proxying for someone, even if it was for the highest and greatest good. So my little cheat is that once you test, either using a pendulum or muscle test, that you are not you when you are proxying for someone, then you can actually, and it's for the highest and greatest good in this scenario, then you could literally send or do a healing specific for the other, and therefore releasing you of the auto-proxying, because at least recently the auto-proxying is not necessarily a fast process in terms of, if you're automatically healing someone, that might take days versus you doing a 𝗧𝗢𝗟𝗏 healing directive and it takes seconds. And then you're released of the proxy. And that's how I know, because there are times where I am proxying for someone, not very often, but in the last 17 days, there were times where I was proxying for something or someone else. And it could be so strange. It could be like you're proxying for the sun or the moon or your cousin or, a monument. Like, it can be really weird sometimes. And, sometimes there's entities involved and therefore you are helping to heal those, or there's old stuff connected to those things that you're proxying for and you're healing those. So when I'm auto-proxying, I immediately, once I figure it out, I immediately do a 𝗧𝗢𝗟𝗏 healing directive to heal the target of whoever or whatever I'm proxying, and then it will almost always automatically release me from auto-proxying for them, and then my symptoms completely disappear if I have any symptoms. Now, partial proxying is where it's only a part of us that is processing their stuff, not the entirety of us. That's a little trickier to figure out when you're muscle testing, but we do have a little course called the Intuitive Decision Making Roadmap where we share with you in detail the differences between proxying and partial proxying. The other thing that can happen or has happened in the last 17 days is polarity reversals. Now, in the past, I would say, well, if you're polarity reversed, it could be you're going through extreme stress or you're going through a pretty significant healing crisis or healing process. But now we have a third option. The third option is that if you are reversed or partially polarity reversed, again, it's in detail in that course, what it means in this third scenario is that you're going through a collective healing experience. So not your own personal healing experience, okay? Not a personal stress experience, but a collective healing experience, and you get to experience that through your body in some way, shape, or form. And for many people, this is just fine. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not something you necessarily need to get rid of. However, sometimes there's a little bit of physical wonkiness or symptoms temporarily as you're going through that collective healing experience. Sometimes just the awareness of it, being able to test, am I polarity reversed? Or in this case, you could even use your first name or full name, is so-and-so, say your name's Jane Smith, is Jane Smith fully reversed or polarity reversed? It's a little bit tricky because sometimes your muscle testing is not correct if you're polarity reversed. So if you're partially reversed, you can get sometimes a decent yes and no in your muscle testing or pendulum, and therefore you could use your name and ask if you are partially reversed. A lot of times you have to correct a polarity reversal before you can do decent muscle testing or using the pendulum. Again, beyond what we can talk about here because it's like a whole course. So the neat thing is that it's not unusual if that's been happening to you in the last, 17 days or so, these little instances where you're polarity reversed or partially reversed, or instances where you're proxying for someone or partial proxying for someone. This happens to be a thing that's happening to sensitive souls worldwide, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. My current understanding of this multiproxying or multi-autoproxying phenomenon is that through the ascension process, we are getting closer and closer to unity. And at the same time, we have the amazing opportunity to help heal not just ourselves, our alternate selves, our soul destiny partners, but others as well. So the sensitive souls are really being called to action, if you will, to heal, a whole bunch more others at this time. And for the most part, if you are very connected to your core being, to your own home frequency, I call your stillness the 0-point field. I do it through stillness, through observing internal movement, that particular process. If you're really familiar with that, then you get really good at when you are not you, and then you can address things much faster. And if people aren't practicing connecting to the still point on a regular daily basis, it can feel pretty overwhelming. So I highly recommend that you do start this practice, better late than never, so that when these ascension upgrades occur, they don't throw you for a loop. Yeah, so the other interesting thing is that sometimes people have been experiencing, again, sensitive souls only, seem to have experiencing that there are other souls that are coming and going in their field. Like if they ask how many souls I have, they may get more than one, they may get 5, 7, whatever, and that might change day to day. Again, this is happening in the recent past that this is so common. In the past, it was actually not that usual to have souls come in and out that quickly and that fluidly. You pretty much, if you had multiple souls, you're kind of stuck with those numbers for a while. So if it wasn't for more than one person experiencing this, and this is multiple people, I wouldn't have believed it. I would have maybe had said, well, maybe you're muscle testing incorrectly, but it seems to be multiple people, not necessarily knowing each other or knowing which each other are experiencing, have been reporting that other souls have been coming in. They've been doing healing on those souls in some cases, or that people say who are earth angels or embodied starseeds suddenly have a light-being starseed soul, coming in. There seems to be no specific rule around whether or not these are there to stay for good or how long they're staying, and sometimes is it because they need healing or because they're going to help out. So there seems to be a lot of different things happening outside of this whole multiproxying process. So I think we just have to stay the course and see what happens. If you're called to do healing on other souls, awesome. Just know that at times you may need some help and support related to what you're testing and what's going on with you. So you're more than welcome to join us in the light medicine community, where we can talk about these kinds of phenomena. So let's go ahead and do a 𝗧𝗢𝗏𝗃 healing activation now. So we're going to do some basic things right now. Number one is stop you from auto-proxying if that's what's happening, and if there isn't anything else that you need to do except maybe heal the other. And then also help to correct the polarity reversals as well. So here we go. Go ahead and close your eyes if it's safe for you to do so. Rub your hands really, really, really fast. Get some heat going. Okay, and then stop, and then focus on the inside of your body. Focus on your hands. Go ahead and feel the energy, the movement inside the body, and then follow that flow. So we're just going into the still point right now through the body. I'm going to do some 𝗧𝗢𝗏𝗃 healing directives, and your job is just to feel what's happening in your body. Here we go. I now command that your boundaries be restored to 100% sovereign, both physical and non-physical, in the highest and best way. Anything preventing it be healed now with ease, speed, and grace. It's now commanded that if you happen to be multi-proxying, auto-proxying, partial proxying, that whoever you are proxying for be healed in the highest and best way, and that the proxying end for you if it is for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you. It's now commanded that if you are polarity reversed, that be corrected, that your polarity be corrected with ease, speed, and grace in the highest and best way, and any collective healing experience be completely supported by Source in the highest and best way with ease, speed, and grace. Thank you. So go ahead and just feel the body, feel any shifts that are happening. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Would love to hear some comments from you on what that felt like in the body. What did you experience? This could be something that you do regularly just because of what's going on in the world right now. Sometimes we can't really predict what's up for the next ascension upgrade. Just know that you're not crazy. Sometimes some super weird things do happen to sensitive souls, and it's all good. We're all getting to that place of oneness, of being able to support and heal each other, sometimes automatically, and we don't necessarily need to be symptomatic through any of that. One very, very important thing is just really honing into your home frequency, doing the still point or stillness exercise, whether it be through stillness, through observing internal movement that I teach, or some other way on a regular basis. You don't have to sit there for 60 minutes at a time. You can do it for 3 seconds, 3 minutes at a time throughout the day. That makes a huge impact, and it helps you get back to your center, to stop auto-proxying, to stop necessarily polarity reversals, sometimes within seconds, just by being in the still point. So a couple of quick announcements. On Monday's Light Warrior Radio Show, I have the great pleasure of interviewing my colleague, Dr. Katrina Cox. She has a brand new international best-selling book called The Opportunity in Cancer. Dr. Katrina is very well versed in what it's like to go through and navigate the post-cancer treatment trials and tribulations. This can be a very difficult time for people, and they don't get a lot of care and support. And that's why I'm really excited to have her on the show Monday, where she can talk about her 4R formula, how to support people through that cancer recovery process, how to see and experience the positive opportunity and the positive outcomes that can come about from experiencing cancer. So if you know anyone who's going through cancer yourself, definitely have them listen to the show Monday at 12 noon. I'll put the link near this video so you know how to connect in. And also there is a phone number you can call in and ask for some mini coaching from Dr. Katrina as well. A couple of cool stuff, new stuff, announcements. The Healthy Life, Healthy Habits, Healthy Life video that I did last week was around the Zero shoes, one of several brands of shoes that I really, really love. This one particular I use for athletic endeavors, and I share with you why I like that shoe and what the difference is between that shoe and other types of shoes that you might be more familiar with. So definitely check that video if you have not seen it yet. The other thing I wanted to let you know about is the Light-being phototherapy patches, the 𝗧𝗢𝗟 and 𝗧𝗡𝗟 come in a performance bundle. And LifeWave recently announced that if you purchase the bundle on a subscription, you can get it up to 40% off. So that would be like $169.95 US dollars if you are on a monthly subscription. And I, for one, am definitely on board with this because, number one, we know it helps support the heart, the brain, the blood vessels, the nerves. And the recent studies show it's very promising for supporting bone as well. And of course, there's the skin, hair, and nails. Like I need more hair, but anyway, I think that this is a really foundational tool, if you will, for most people, or that most people can benefit from. And now they have it at that discounted rate. So 40% off. I highly recommend it. So if you have not ever heard of it or you haven't tried it, new customers actually get 90 days money back guarantee as well. So 𝗧𝗢𝗟, 𝗧𝗡𝗟, you wear it 12 hours on, 12 hours off, drink lots of water. That's it. It's very, very simple, and would love to support you on that self-healing journey. So I'll put the link near this video where you can get the product, and if you get it on the preferred customer where it's like, you know, regular shipments, you can get it for that special price. And of course, if you are kind of confused, not really sure what to order, you can always just reply back to the email where we normally send people every week our Light Medicine Weekly support at KarenKan.com, and my staff will help you out and show you what to look out for. All right, so that's pretty much it. We'll put the coming events below this video, and I look forward to checking in with you, seeing how you're doing next week. Until next time, bye from now, and lots of love.